How's it going, guys? Hope you guys are having a great week. So it's that time of the month again. It's time to do another What Do We Know So Far video. This one today, guys, is actually going to focus on A Plague Tale: Innocence. So what is A Plague Tale: Innocence? Well, it is a story-driven puzzle adventure developed by Asobo Studios and published by Focus Home Interactive. Asobo Studios are a team based in France. They're a very small team of about 40 people that have developed this game. So it's set for release on the 14th of May and will be available on the PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This game was first announced at E3 2017 through a first look game trailer, and ever since it's been a game that I am incredibly interested in and I'm very much looking forward to playing it. So what is the setting of A Plague Tale: Innocence? Well, it is set actually in 14th century France, and it follows the story of two siblings, Amicia and her younger brother Hugo, who are fighting to survive the 100-Year War and the Black Death while fleeing from a force known as the Inquisition. It's very rare to see games set in kind of medieval Europe, so it's a period I'm very much interested in, and I'm really interested to see what take they have, Asobo Studios, on the historical events. Now, this is of course historical fiction, so they are going to be using the setting, but there will be sort of some elements to it obviously that are not based on fact, on history, but it looks really interesting. I love the setting of it. So Amicia and Hugo are basically nobles. They have been living an extremely comfortable lifestyle, a noble lifestyle, which you begin at the start of the game in this very calm setting, and then of course the English invade, the 100-Year War begins, and the Black Death and the plague hits, and that is the setting for the game, for the rest of the game. So let me give you a bit more information about the two siblings. So Amicia is 15 years old. She's incredibly headstrong and incredibly adventurous. Hugo is 5 years old, and he's actually been sick for most of his life, to the point where he's actually been hidden away and locked away and cared for by his mother almost exclusively, who tinkers with medicine to cure him. His illness, his sickness, there's a mystery surrounding it. I assume as we play through the game we're going to discover the relevance of that sickness. Apparently it has quite an important story-driven plot, so we're going to actually get to see that. But Amicia is, from what we've been told, she's kind of, there's a little bit of jealousy there of Hugo, with him receiving, you know, the majority of his mother's attention and affection. So you have to kind of protect Hugo throughout the game, but there is this points in the game where Amicia kind of sort of almost resents her brother. So it'll be really interesting to see the dynamic between the two of them. The main villain, there is going to be a main villain in the game. The main villain is called the Grand Inquisitor, and he basically wants to capture the children, especially Hugo, and he wants to use Hugo for some nefarious means. Now, the Inquisition have knowledge of where the rats in the game come from, and they are actually interested in trying to use them for their own agenda. So their gear is very much built to survive and to kind of keep the rats at bay. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we sort of explore through the gameplay. But Amicia basically has to guide her sick brother to safety while being pursued by the Grand Inquisitor's forces after her family is torn apart at the beginning of the game. The developers have coined this escort stealth, and it very much has elements of The Last of Us and other, also Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons through it as well. So let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Now, there are two major threats to you. Of course, we have the Inquisition. These are a constant threat. They are constantly trying to chase down Amicia and Hugo. And it's interesting to play the game from the perspective of a child, because obviously you are powerless. You know, you're not able to fight back really. You're not able to attack these forces, and you have to be smart about how you sort of hide from them, and also how you kind of take down those threats. So it's going to be interesting to sort of see how all this death and destruction and all these difficult decisions that you're having to make throughout the game, how those are going to affect the psyche of a 15-year-old child. Because I do know at one point, I think you do end up taking a life, and they do actually show the repercussions of that. So that's really interesting. The other major threat that looks just super creepy and terrifying is the rats that exist in the world. So the rats are like the physical personification of the Black Death, and they are a constant threat throughout the game. So at any one point there are actually 5,000 simulated rats on screen at the same time, and there is actually a dedicated engine just simply for the rats. They have their own behavior, and they have kind of a hive mind as well. So they effectively inhabit the darkness, and they are scared of fire, but if there is no fire and they do get to you, they will devour everything in their path, picking clean the bones of anything that strays into the darkness. So throughout the game you will control Amicia, and you will have to carry out sort of puzzle solving exercises to try to figure out how to navigate the world and how to keep these rats at bay, by sort of keeping a torch lit or using things in the world to aid you. Of course, stealth is quite a huge part of it as well, so you will have to stealth through the sections, and you can actually give instructions to Hugo, so you can tell him to sort of stay and wait to lead him around and that kind of thing. There are different methods of scaring away the rats or directing them towards murderous knights. So Amicia will come equipped with a slingshot, and she is able to craft special ammunition and also special supplies, and she can use this to her advantage. So for example, she's able to craft sulfur stones, which she can use to actually light braziers to light the way. She can also use these rocks to break drawbridge chains, to make a path, and also to stun guards long enough for the rats to actually ambush them. And as I said, you can actually give Hugo instructions as well, and can direct him to do specific tasks when Amicia is busy. Now, the majority of the game is just Amicia and Hugo, but there are sections of the game where you will interact with NPCs in the world, and you can get support. There are orphans, I think, in the world that you will interact with, you will come across, and they will basically try to support Amicia and Hugo and kind of join your party as you progress through the game. But I've got to say, A Plague Tale: Innocence, it looks really interesting. I love the setting. I think the setting is so different, and I'm really excited to explore it. It's a story-driven puzzle solver, and as you know, I'm a story-driven gamer, so I'm really excited to sort of explore the story of Amicia and her younger brother Hugo. I'm really intrigued by the Inquisition and the Grand Inquisitor and what their ultimate purpose is, and the gameplay looks really fun and really different. It's interesting to play a weak character, not to play this hero character, to play someone that is young, inexperienced, weak, and is just trying to survive what looks to be an incredibly dark and ferocious and deadly, brutal world. So yeah, A Plague Tale: Innocence looks really interesting. So that is everything that we know so far about it. I hope you guys found it interesting. Let me know what you guys think of this game in the comment section below. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, of course, please hit the like button as always to show your support. I'll be back again with more videos later, guys. But yeah, hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you guys are having a great May so far. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.